I've been court ordered to check into a mental institution. I've mentioned many times I'm not a very friendly person. Now, when I say that, a lot of people get in the comment section and say, that's not true, you're really friendly. Well, maybe you see that, but I don't even pretend to be somebody different on YouTube. I am who I am, and I feel like I'm pretty blunt about things I say. But if you meet me in person, I can guarantee you, you wouldn't like me. I actually find that appealing about myself. I'm not a friendly person. I'm not a, hey, come up and talk to me type of person. I'm not interested in a conversation. I just want to be left alone. That's why I live here. And it's so hard for people to understand that I just want to be left alone. I want to be able to do my own thing on my own terms. I don't want people telling me how to do something. I don't want friends coming over saying, you know, you should do it this way. And then they get mad when you don't do it. I mean, it's bad enough on YouTube. I get commenters all the time telling me what to do. And then when I don't do it, they'll email me yelling and screaming, you know, big cap letters, how I should have done it their way. And they're not going to follow me anymore. I mean, I've had family members literally say it's rude not to take people's advice. Okay, if you believe that, then I feel like you're being rude. See, rude can be interpreted many ways. I remember one time I went to a store, Walmart as a matter of fact, and this woman had like 5 items. And she had coupons or something, and she's arguing with the cashier. And the cashier's having to flip through her coupon book, and it's taking forever, and I'm kind of in a hurry. And I said, lady, you're rude. Move along. You know, the line's backing up a million miles. Well, I get to work. I go to work. And I'm discussing this with a coworker, and she says, no, Rob, you're rude. And that's when it occurred to me that, yeah, I'm probably rude. I'm not friendly to people. I do feel like the woman with all the coupons was being rude. She was not acknowledging that the people behind her needed to move along. So aren't you being rude? I mean, who knows? But everybody has their own interpretation of rudeness. I guess it's the person who has the most authority in the conversation, or at least they feel like they have the most authority, is the one that wins the argument. I'm rude, even though I thought somebody else is rude. I watch YouTubers, preppers. Now, they all complain about government, that there's a class of people in our country that want to lead the rest of us. And they don't like the way we're being led. And so every day they come on YouTube and they complain about our leaders and that they need to do it this way. But then they'll say that when this government causes the collapse of our country, that they are going to call all their friends over to their family. And they have a specific name for this group of people. It's called a MAG. I guess it's an Army term. I was in the Navy, so I don't know. And this MAG is all going to come together, and they're going to form a society in which they all work together to rebuild society, or I don't know, fend off the people that are going to come in hordes of people, and they're going to basically become an army of. And this one person, this YouTuber, I guess is going to be the leader of this MAG. And it's not just one YouTuber. They all talk about it, that they have a MAG of people to defend their property and to come together, and one person's going to know how to do this, and another person's going to know how to do this, and the other person's going to know how to do this, and as a team, they're going to be really strong. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're complaining about government and leadership and how it has failed us. After 200 years, it's failed us, but somehow you are smart enough to bring a group of people together, and you're going to lead them without conflict. Everybody's going to be really happy with all your leadership decisions. Like, hey, that guy's not pulling his weight. I'm going to make him go. And this guy's like over here, I like him. You can't make him go. And all of a sudden, they're paying people off, and they're conspiring against the government. And the government's like, you cannot have conspiracy theories against me. And all of a sudden, it's the same thing as what we already have. You have become your worst enemy. So I like to do things on my own. And I'm told, no, you need people. I'm told this all the time in the comment section. You need people. You got to have people to help you. You can't know everything. And I agree, I can't know everything. but I can know everything I need to know to live by myself. I've learned how to make electric. And I've talked about this in the last 2 weeks about solar panels. And what's interesting is I've continued to learn about solar panels. There's this thing called Kruger-Dunning effect. I don't want to get too in depth with it, but it's just something I want to bring up because I've been thinking about it recently. I get a lot of people in the comment section that tells me they're experts in something and they'll repeat exactly what another YouTuber said. So I'll be talking about solar panels. Oh no, you need to do it this way and blah, 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 blah. And I can go to the video of the person they're talking about. It was their very last video on how I need lithium ion batteries and their heat. And it was almost verbatim of what somebody else said. So they're the expert. And since they listen to this YouTuber, they know everything. Well, occurred to me that I have a Kruger-Dunning effect. I've been working with solar panels since, I don't know, 2007. And I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable on them. But in the last 2 weeks, I've learned an incredible amount about solar panels and how to make them more efficient and better. And I thought I was already an expert. I realized I'm not. So Kruger-Dunning says that the less you know about a subject, the more you think you know about it. The more you know about a subject, the less you feel like you know about it. So now all of a sudden I'm down here in this category where I don't feel like I know very much about solar panels because I've just learned a bunch of stuff that I didn't know for the last 20 years. But what I do know is that I practice what I think I'm going to have to do in an SHTF. You know, stuff hits the fan. That's what these people talk about all the time. Stuff hits the fan and I'm going to need this mag of people. So I know how to make my own electric and I've gotten pretty efficient at it over the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to keep a close eye on it for the next year to determine if I can continue to do what I'm doing, run the well off the solar panels. Of course, Carolyn's son is living here and he's got the air conditioner, which is putting a pretty drastic strain on things, on the system itself. But if I didn't have the air conditioner, could I continue to run the well? I'm feeling like it's a pretty strong possibility, especially if I get 2 more solar panels, which I'm getting on 2 days from now. A new charge controller. I could check that out and I can practice with it. And if I need 2 more, I still have room to put 2 more on. So, okay, there's something that I don't need anybody else's help with. We know how to can food. We know how to can meat. We've been doing it for a long time, and if you want to learn how to do it, go to my channel, go over to playlist, look down for canning, and you'll see all the things that we've canned here. So I know how to can food, I know how to hunt, I know how to get meat, raising chickens, we've incubated our chickens, so we have all this knowledge. So I think food, we're in pretty good shape. So we got electric, water and food, shelter, and then the defense thing I don't talk much about, but that's the one thing that everybody's going to come onto my channel. You got to have people to help you protect your property, because when the hordes of people are going to come down, word's going to get out. And they always say that, word's going to get out that you got food. And they're all going to come and get my food. Well, no, they're not. I'm not going to talk about my defenses, but they're not coming. Because once somebody tries to cross my defenses, word's going to get out. Don't mess with that guy. For some reason, people seem to think they have this idea. They know exactly what's going to happen because they read a book. And that's the thing. They read a book, and now all of a sudden they're experts on SHTF. Yet no one in modern history in the United States has ever experienced SHTF. This long term, you know, whatever's happened it's all, they think this is what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. So to tell me that they know what's going to happen because they read a book, Kruger-Dunning effect, they seem to think they have all the answers. Yet, one of the things that I always find so interesting about people is they will come and preach to me how I don't know what I'm talking about, yet they've never done it. These preppers especially, I find this so amazing. They come on channel and they tell you, you got to have a solar generator. It will run your house for a week. Maybe a fan. What size solar generator did you buy? How much did you spend on it? I have a solar generator. It's not the one you buy at the store. It's called 10 solar panels, 8 lead acid batteries, charge controller, and an inverter. That's all a solar generator is. I happen to have one and I built it myself. DIY. I can expand upon it, I can fix it, I know how to work on it. When your solar generator goes dead and you don't know how to work on it, then you're out of electric. I've talked about trespassers before on this property, and I've been called a lot of bad names about it. As a matter of fact, I was contacted by someone and basically told I'm an abuser. I've talked about people coming on my channel all the time telling me I'm abusing Carolyn and that I don't allow Carolyn to do anything around here. Well, Carolyn wears the pants in this family. That's just the way it is. She doesn't want to be on video. You know what? She's not on video. I mean, occasionally you might see her in the background. She's made one video in the past. But beyond that, she is not on video because she says she doesn't want to be. Well, that apparently is some sign that I've got her trapped. I'm lying on YouTube. Carolyn is trapped. She's not even allowed to get on video. I really wonder how many people actually want to be on YouTube. I actually had a hard time getting on YouTube. When I started YouTube, remember, I'm kind of a loner. I don't really want to be popular or anything. So I had to figure out a way to convince myself to be on YouTube because it was a revenue stream. Well, I wanted to start this business along with another business I was running so we could go out and travel, and it has been pretty successful for me. Now YouTube is our only source of income because that other business dried up during the pandemic. So this is a way for me to make money and stay on my property and be by myself with Carolyn. I don't need anybody. Again, I have figured this out how to do it myself. I don't need an employer. I don't need co-workers. I can do this. I don't need Carolyn to come on video and help me make videos. I've talked about trespassers on this property, and that is a sign that apparently there's something wrong with me. And I agree, there is something wrong with me. I don't want people on this property. I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand, why I don't want people on the property. I've made this pretty clear. It's for my safety and theirs. If you come onto my property in the state of Missouri and you violate the no trespassing sign, you can go to my front door, knock on the door, and up to that point, I am liable for any injuries that you may sustain. But as soon as I open the door and I say, you are trespassing, you must leave, that immediately releases me of any obligation of their injuries. So like when UPS shows up, I run to the road and I just grab the package for them. So this old woman comes to the house. I've told you this story, and she wants to talk to Carolyn. I said, you're trespassing, you got to leave. And she argued and she wanted to talk to Carolyn about a wash machine. And well, later she snuck around on somebody else's property to come around and talk to Carolyn when Carolyn was cleaning up the old garden. I walked down with the no trespassing sign. I just held it in front of her. And she just refused to leave. Well, I get people in the comment section, she has every right to be there. She can talk to Carolyn if she wants. And you're just being rude. Well, fine, I'm being rude. And quite frankly, I don't care. You know, I'm at an age now where it's like, you're calling me rude? I don't like the woman at the grocery store hogging up the line, wasting my time with her coupons. If she wants to do couponing, maybe she should go in at night where there's nobody in the store instead of during rush hour when everybody's trying to get home. If I'm willing to say, hey, you're being rude, move along, and you don't agree with that, then fine, I'm rude. And I really don't have a problem with it. This is why I live the way I do. I live on this property so I don't have to mingle with people. I don't want to get electric from a company because companies always tend to have a problem with me. They'll do some, you know, I made 3 returns at Walmart. Now Walmart is really good about taking on returns. But 3 times I've tried to return stuff at Walmart and they just wouldn't let me. So this is an example of a company telling me, okay, yeah, we'll do it for everybody else, but not you. A company will mess me over anytime they get a chance to. I don't want to be on the phone talking to them. I don't want to argue with them. I feel like I have to over-explain everything because apparently I'm too stupid to communicate with them because they just don't understand anything I'm saying. So I just don't want to deal with an electric company or a cable company. You know, they get something wrong. Hey, yeah, you know, you're giving everybody else in the world a discount if they sign up now, but I signed up last month. Oh no, you can't have that discount because you signed up last month. Well, how does that fare? The bank. One of the hardest things I had to deal with on the bank was I had to call the bank when we crossed state lines when we were traveling. Otherwise, they would shut my card off. I couldn't use my card. They always said, well, we got an app that you can use. Just get on the app and you can schedule it. And I would get on the app and it wouldn't work. Never worked. I'd call them up. The app doesn't work. Well, we can take your information this one time, but here's what you got to do. And so I get back on I actually stayed on the phone and they walked me through it and it didn't work. And they said, well, it should work. If it's not working and you're across state lines, how am I supposed to come to the bank to see what's wrong with my app? Which is what they wanted me to do. Somehow this makes me crazy that since I am not a social being, that I have an issue. Well, there are just people out there who want to be left alone. There really are. And the thing is people who are social don't understand that. People who are isolated and want to be left alone, they understand people want to be social. They understand that. I understand people want to be social. They just don't understand why I don't want to be. And therefore, I'm crazy. So this woman who has had a real problem with Carolyn not being on video, and she's been quite vocal about it, just told me that she has contacted a lawyer and that she is trying to get a court order to have me institutionalized because I am crazy. There is something wrong with me because I want to live here isolated with Carolyn. She is absolutely convinced I have abducted Carolyn and I'm holding her against her will. Well, so be it. Do whatever you feel like you need to. You're going to lose, and then I'm going to sue you. I feel like what I'm doing is quite normal, and I'm quite happy with my life, and for some reason, folks like you just can't handle it. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was talking about solar panels. So I hope I can inspire you to be happy in your own skin so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.